I believe communication is the most powerful skill that you as an entrepreneur, as a founder, can master. The ability to take your ideas and then transmit them in an influential way that moves people in alignment with your goals. That is the very definition of sales, of marketing, of leadership. If you think about what leadership really is at the end of the day, it's to try and communicate an ideal, a dream state to a group of people that they then agree to put their time and energy in working towards. And so your ability to communicate effectively is going to be the decisive advantage that you have in this game of business. But not a lot of people spend enough time, if any time, working on the communication skills. And that's a mistake. And so what we're going to correct today, what we're going to work on, is a simple framework, a simple 4-step framework that you can use to speak to anybody, anytime, anywhere. If you ever find yourself at a networking event feeling like a wallflower, like you're a little uncomfortable, getting nervous, I'm going to tell you a story about how I used to be, and you're going to see yourself in me. This framework is going to help you there. If you ever find yourself in an interview process with a new hire feeling a little bit awkward, or you ever find yourself talking to a customer and you just don't really know how to fill the silence, fill the void, this framework is going to help you. Now, let's talk about communicating for a second. Leading up into 2018, 2019, I would say I was an incredibly introverted person, and I still am. Like I have the ability to turn on charisma and extroversion to go into a room and talk to people. I'm comfortable on a stage, but I'm not comfortable just walking into a room full of strangers that don't know who I am and then trying to mix it up and have conversations with people. That was really hard for me. And so back in 2019, when I started going to networking events in real estate in particular, as we started growing our real estate private equity fund, I'd go to these events and nobody knew me. They didn't know anything that I had done previously with any of my other businesses. I didn't have any clout. Right? It's much easier to go into a room with clout. And so you become naturally more extroverted, the more well-known that you are, the more reputation you have. But when you step into a room and nobody knows who you are, it's very, very scary. Or at least it was for me. And it gave me so much anxiety that multiple times I would drive across town to a networking event. I would park in the parking lot and I would just sit there and then not go in. And instead of going in, I would tell myself, you know what, you got here, that's good enough, that's a win. And then I turn around and I go home. For real, I struggled so much with the social anxiety around these events and talking to strangers. And part of it was just not really having a framework that I could replicate each time. It felt like I was going to go in there and is this improv performance. It's how impromptu conversations with strangers always feels. It's I don't know where this conversation is going to go. I don't really love small talk and all that stuff. And so I'm not fully committed to it. But this little framework has been very, very helpful. It's called F.O.R.D. It works in pretty much any application that you want it to. It's F.O.R.D. It's a nice little acronym that stands for family, occupation, recreation, dreams. So when you're talking to a stranger, if you want to learn how to talk to anybody, anytime, anywhere, and you don't know what to talk about, just go to one of these 4 things. Family is the first. So ask them, what kind of family you got? You got kids? You family live nearby? You married? You want to get really squirrely, you ever been divorced? Maybe don't lead with that one. But first, start by asking people about their family. Just ask about their family situation. And here's the secret to being a great communicator and a great conversationalist, is that you actually don't need to spend that much time talking. This is something I didn't understand, is that if you want to be a great conversationalist, you need to spend more time just listening, being interested in the other person, giving them the space to talk, because they probably have some really interesting stories to tell you, but they probably feel just as awkward and uncomfortable as you. And so you, as the interviewer, can help them get outside of their bubble and share those great stories. I like to think of it like this. Everybody has something to teach you, but it's your job to figure out what that thing is. And they don't know how to teach it to you because they don't even know. Most of us, we are sleeping on our own genius. You're so used to it. You are this brilliant person that, lives and breathes with your brilliance every single day. You don't even know what makes you unique. And so it's my job as the conversationalist to help you pull that out of you, to figure out how can you tell me the parts of you that are so intriguing and interesting that it's going to make my hairs curl. So first, talk about family. Number 2, talk about occupation. So what do you do? What do you do for life? Now, everybody at a work event will say, hey, so what do you do for work? Right? That's fine. It gives you a baseline to understand what they do with their work. But more important than that, and what helps really what's the word? De-ice, break the ice. Really changes up the vibe. Is instead of asking people what they do for work, ask them what are they passionate about? What sparks their soul with joy? Like what do you like? How do you define yourself? Not just like what by the work you do, but like who are you as a person? And getting to that like more aspirational of side of them. Like for me, if you're asking me like what do, I might just tell you I'm a serial entrepreneur. I wrote multiple books, built a couple businesses, right? But if you ask me like who are you at your core, I'd be like, oh, I'm a storyteller. I love telling stories. I love teaching, right? Like those are very different answers. And now we have something that you can actually kind of dig into and talk about. Third, you could ask about recreation. So F.O.R.D stands for family, occupation, recreation. Recreation. So what do you do for fun? What do you do when you're not out here trying to make money? What do you do when you're not at these mixers? What do you do for fun when you have all the time in the world on a lazy Tuesday evening when you don't have to be anywhere? What would you love to do? I'm like, oh, I like to play tennis, or I like to go sit in that park over there, and I like to pitch a hammock, and I like to read a book. That sounds great to me. Like, I like to go roller skating. I don't know. Like, tell me, what do you do for fun? Fourth, what do you dream about? What do you dream about? So that's F.O.R.D. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. What do you dream? What dreams do you have for your life? Like, you can ask this in so many different interesting ways. Do you have any dreams that like keep coming up over the years? Like, you could literally ask people about their dreams and be like, do you have any recurring dreams? I have this one dream about always falling or being chased by this like human manifestation of a dandelion. It's weird. It's like, I don't know where that came from. Do you have any weird dreams? Like people are a little disarmed by it at first, but then you get to some really interesting things. Or you can ask them, what are your dreams for your life? Like, what are you trying to build? Like if you could live your perfect life, or like you could make the impact, like what kind of impact are you trying to make on the world? Now, like you maybe don't lead with that in your first engagement. Like the very first words out of your mouth to a stranger isn't exactly like, what kind of dreams you got? Like, it's kind of weird. So maybe work your way up through family, through occupation, through recreation, and then to dreams, right? But as long as you're thinking about these four, you always have a thread to pull in the conversation. And as soon as you just try, you like pull this one. Tell me about your occupation. What do you do for work? And you get like this kind of lame answer. You're like, I don't find that interesting. Tell me about what you do for fun. Oh, you do that? Oh, cool. I do that thing too. Or no, that thing is stupid. Like now we're enemies. And that can be fun too. The only thing that you want to avoid when it comes to communicating with anybody, anywhere, anytime, is to say nothing of value and be completely forgettable. Either be loved or be hated. Don't be indifferent. So don't be afraid to make an enemy. Don't be afraid to make a fool of yourself. Maybe don't make enemies. Don't blend in. That's not going to do you any favors. So that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hopefully you can take this framework, go implement it, go talk to a stranger. That's your homework. Go talk to a stranger. Go to the grocery store. Try and strike up a conversation with somebody in the frozen meats aisle, and see how weird you can make it. That's something that my girlfriend likes to say. I'm not afraid to make it weird. So get out there, go make it weird. I'll see you guys in the next episode.